G'day mates, bienvenue dans l'Euroden. Just a little Aussie accent greeting with some French mixed in for good measure to welcome you to yet another instalment of the Euroden. I'm Joseph Mendy, but come on, you knew that already, didn't you? Anyway, I'm here to take you through the agony, the ecstasy, the trials, triumphs, tears and tribulations of the Eurovision Song Contest. And you could say that the forecast has been waning of the artist variety, because we have had a quartet of countries choosing their acts for this year's event in Vienna since the last episode. So today we'll be learning about those artists and how they got the gig. That, along with a look at tonight's selection shows in the pipeline. Quite a bit to get through, so are you sitting comfortably? Good. Then we'll begin. Let's start with the two finals that went down last Saturday, beginning with Moldova's national final, Selecția Națională. 37 artists were invited to audition by TRM, the Moldovan broadcaster. Of those 37 acts, 34 actually got as far as performing on the audition stage, and from that lot, 16 artists were chosen to compete in the live final at Arena Chisinau in the country's capital. After all the performances, the results were being determined by a two-part jury of 20 members, 15 international juries, and 5 international juries, along with the votes from the Moldovan public. Every set of votes carried 33% of the final scores and were converted into a set of 1 to 8, 10 and 12 points. Once all was said and done, the results were the local jury were in favour of, in fact, both the local jurors, the international jurors, and the Moldovan public were all very unanimous as who should represent Moldova, as Satoshi scored maximum points in every single department, making him the unanimous winner of Selecția Națională. And with that, he was the lucky recipient of Moldova's tickets to the Eurovision Song Contest in Vienna this May. Let's learn a little bit more about Satoshi here. Let me just grab the info. There he is. Now, Satoshi is a singer, songwriter and rapper from the city of Cahul in southwest Moldova, near the border with Romania. Now, Satoshi is the stage name of Vlad Sabajuk. So Vlad Sabajuk is his real name, but he performs under the stage name of Satoshi. He initially delving into his passion for music by teaching himself how to play the drums. Vlad launched his Satoshi Artist project in 2019 and has since released 3 albums with many singles along the way. The popularity of his music has meant that he's been able to tour Moldova, Romania and beyond, and played his first show in London in 2024. Last year, he released an EP in collaboration with Fioctis and Magnat. Got that pronounced? Sorry, that's not how I pronounce it. Which he's also been able to tour with, and he's also released music with fellow Moldovan artists Carla's Dreams and Irina Rhymes. Believe it or not, it's the first time since 2019 that Moldova will be represented by an artist that did not previously compete in Eurovision. Though saying that, those of you who watched Selecția Națională may or may not have caught sight of Moldova's 2013 entrant, Aliona Moon, on stage as part of Satoshi's on-stage ensemble, providing some guest vocals in the song Viva Moldova, which is the song that Satoshi will be singing for Moldova. And after the show, following his victory, he confirmed that he will be reworking his performance for the Eurovision stage when he gets to Vienna. With 1 million leu, that's 50,000 euros or £43,236, awarded him by TRM as part of the prize for winning the selection, as well as part of the broadcaster's plan to support the act. He'll be able to do just that, along with a promotional tour across Europe, including the pre-parties, you would imagine. We'll be seeing Satoshi sing for Moldova in the first half of semi-final 1 on Tuesday, the 12th of May. Later in the evening, we had the final of the Malta Eurovision Song Contest. 12 acts competed in the final, and as well as all of that, we had guest performances from alternative rock band Scream Daisy, Eurovision 2024 runner-up Baby Lasagna, Junior Eurovision 2015 winner, then ESC 2021 contestant Destiny, and JESC 2025 contestant Elisa Borg. When all was said and done, eventually, the show didn't finish until pretty past midnight Greenwich Mean Time. It came down to that thrilling climax when Aiden fought off tough competition from Matt Black, Denise, and the like to win MESC, and with it, the Maltese ticket to Vienna. Now, Aiden, of course, is one of Malta's most successful artists in recent years. His recordings and live shows have seen him become a staple on the charts and stages across Malta. A familiar face at festivals, Aiden has also performed at national celebration events, including the Malta's New Year's Eve festivities in front of over 50,000 people. In the last 2 years, he reached a new career milestone by headlining his own concert at the Malta Fairs and Convention Centre, the country's largest arena, performing to sold-out crowds and more than 10,000 fans. And in 2023, he released his debut album, This Is Aiden, following in 2025 with a 7-track EP, Wild, Wild, Wild. Now, that winning moment last week was the culmination of a long journey for Aiden, who's finally made it to the Eurovision stage after many attempts. He's been on the national final circuit. He's been on the national final circuits for years, dating back as far as 2015, when he tried to represent Malta at that year's Junior Eurovision Song Contest. But obviously, Destiny got that gig and went on to win the whole contest. His first attempt at the adult contest was in 2018 with the song De Lager and finished 4th, beaten by Christabel. He returned again in 2022 with his song Witmu, which many thought was a big favourite to be Malta's entry that year in Turin. But Emma Muscat beat him at the post to take the ticket, though Aiden did pop up at that year's contest as the Maltese spokesperson to deliver the nation's jury points. His third attempt with the song Regina didn't go to plan, though, as he was disqualified allegedly due to social media posts about his song, which was forbidden at the time by Maltese broadcaster PBS. Now, on his fourth attempt, Aiden has finally achieved his lifelong dream of representing his country on the big Eurovision stage, and he will be doing so in the second half of semi-final 2 on Thursday, the 14th of May, with his song Bella. That was last Saturday's finals. I'll be running through tonight's selection shows in due course, but first, the Vienna 2026 roster saw another 2 auditions on Tuesday from Switzerland and Israel. Switzerland, the birthplace of the Eurovision Song Contest, and of course last year's host country, were represented by Veronika Fusaro. She was chosen internally by the Swiss broadcaster SRG SSR. She is born and raised in Thunby and has firmly built a reputation as one of the most distinctive voices of the Swiss music scene. The alternative pop singer blends pop with elements of soul and rock, and her songs have combined sharp lyricism with emotional clarity and a groove-driven sound. An established live performer, she was named the Best Talent by Swiss National Radio SRF3 back in 2016, marking an early milestone in her career. She's since played over 500 concerts in Switzerland and abroad, and appearing on renowned stages festivals such as Montreux Jazz Festival, Girton Festival, and Glastonbury. She's also supported Mark Knopfler at the Amphitheatre of Nîmes, and concluded 2023 with a headline show at Kaufleuten in Zurich. Her song will be revealed in March, and has been chosen through a multi-stage process involving international public votes and an expert jury out of 493 submissions. We'll be seeing her on Thursday, the 14th of May, when Veronica Fusaro performs in the first half of semi-final 2. Despite multiple calls to throw them out of the contest in response to their involvement with the war in Gaza and allegations of vote rigging, Israel will still be competing in the Eurovision Song Contest in Vienna. This was confirmed as such after the EBU General Assembly back in December of last year, hence why Netherlands, Spain, Ireland, Slovenia and Iceland have decided to withdraw in retaliation of the verdict. After 3 years of female representatives, with a girl bop and 2 female ballads courtesy of Noah Kewell, Eden Golan and Yuval Raphael, who finished 3rd, 5th and 2nd respectively, they are sending a man, yes, a man, to Eurovision for the first time since Michael Ben David in 2022. That man goes by the name of Noam Betan. He won Israel's annual talent show, Hakohav Haba, aka Rising Star, or The Next Star, to book his place in Vienna. He was born to a family from France and raised in Wa'anana. I think it's how you pronounce it. Let me try it again. Wa'anana in Israel. A singer-songwriter fluent in French, Noam began his musical journey 8 years ago, and since then he has released a debut album in 2023, as well as a series of hit singles that topped the official radio charts domestically and garnered millions of plays on streaming platforms. He has gained extensive experience as a live performer, performing nationwide with his band. But on the stage, anything goes when it gets to Eurovision. Will he perform solo, or will he be backed up by an ensemble of musicians or dancers? Who knows? What we do know is that he'll be performing in the second half of semi-final 1. So Tuesday, the 12th of May for him. Time to look ahead at tonight's national selection shows. This week there are 3 countries in the field of play: Bulgaria, Lithuania and Luxembourg. Luxembourg are the ones selecting their entry, whilst Bulgaria and Lithuania get their searches underway. All 3 shows begin at 8 p.m. Central European Time, so that'll be 7 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Let's start with Bulgaria. After 3 years away, Bulgaria are back in the Eurovision Song Contest and will be selecting their entry in the 3-stage selection called Naționalna Selecția. I'll say that again. Naționalna Selecția. Tongue twister, I know, but my Bulgarian's dry. Anyway, the first 2 shows will focus on selecting the artists. Then the 3rd show will be used to select the actual song for the contest. 15 artists are competing in the selection. And if I've got the list here they are now. So we got Dara Ekimova, Dia, Elizabeth, Fiki, Innerglow, Kawana and Cosmonauts, Michaela Fileva, Michaela Marinova, Molek, Mona, Puea, Roxana, Val, and Benjamin. All 15 artists will perform a previously released song from their catalogue. So it's a bit different to the other national finals. Most national finals, the acts perform on the songs that they will be taking to the Eurovision. But for the first 2 shows, these artists will be performing previously released songs from their catalogue. Then a 5-member jury and the Bulgarian public via online voting award points. In the semi-final, the jury awards points to each artist from 1 up to 5 points. The online vote, the public vote online, and they award points to all the artists from 15 points from 1 2, 3, all the way up to 15 points to their favourite song. Once all the points are awarded, 15 acts will be reduced to 7 acts to go through to next week's final, where they will once again perform another previously released song from their catalogue. Again, the jury and public will score the finalists, 1 to 5 points to each artist for the jury. The online vote awards 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 points from least favourite to most favourite. The act with the most points triumphs in that final and will become Bulgaria's representative. Only then can we move on to show 3, the song selection. And that's where the chosen artist performs 3 brand new songs. And then a jury, which has grown from 5 to 10 members when we get to that song selection, they'll score 1, 2, 3 points, and the online voting will be the same with the public, 1, 2, 3 points. Whichever song gets the most points, well, that's the song that gets taken to Vienna. So, the semi-final of Nacionalna Selekcja will be airing tonight at 8 o'clock on BNT. Now, there is a stream on their website, but that stream, I should warn you, is likely to be geo-blocked. So it's likely only to be available to Bulgarian audiences. In Lithuania, they will once again be using their national selection Eurovisia.lt to choose their entry. This is comprised of 6 shows, 5 heats and a final. There are 40 acts competing in the selection, 8 acts per heat. The results are determined by a 50-50 ratio between a jury and a public vote using the Eurovision system 1 to 8, 10 and 12 points. Top 2 acts go through to the final from each heat, but acts placed 4th to 8 are eliminated. This year, though, the act that places 3rd in each heat will be put through to a wildcard round, where the Lithuanian public alone will choose 1 act to also make the final. It is worth noting that each heat is pre-recorded in advance of their broadcast dates, with the public votes being conducted in real time, and the results of the jury votes, public votes in each heat revealed as if they were being broadcast live. But in fact, the show is pre-recorded, but the voting is live. Only the final is broadcast live in its entirety, and that's where Lithuania's entry will be chosen. Now, in the past 2 editions, Eurovisia LT's used a super final. It's basically a second stage of the grand final, like you would often see on shows such as Dancing on Ice and The X Factor, if you get what I'm saying. It's where the top 3 acts perform their songs again, and the second round of voting commences. This year, there's no super final, so there's just 1 round of final voting that leads to a straight and snappy result. Also, the public vote will be the tiebreaker instead of the jury vote, unlike previous years. On the subject of the public vote, along with SMS voting, app voting has been introduced for the first time. Now, who are the 8 acts competing in Heat 1? They are, in the running order they'll be performing in, Siga with Norio Joe, Valdes Lacco with Pabandom, Elizabeth O'Shea with Between, Noi with Stand Up, Wiggly with Ikona Zimaitsi, I don't think I got that right, Asti Pilvelti with Tab Zvagizu Ilos, Thomas G with One Night Lover, and the Ditties with Mambo. Of those 8 acts, whose names I've totally mispronounced, so I can only apologise, 2 will go straight through to the final, 1 goes through to the wild card, and the other 5 go home. Find out who from 8 o'clock Central European Time on LRT. And you can also watch the show on their YouTube channel. The last show I'll cover here tonight is the Luxembourg Song Contest. Luxembourg have been using it to choose their entries since their return to Eurovision only 2 years ago. Sorry, that's my laptop booting up there. The 3rd edition of the Luxembourg Song Contest takes place this evening at the Wakal in Esch-sur-Alzette. Don't know if that's the right way of pronouncing it. Surely it's not. But anyway, that's where it's taking place. 8 acts looking to follow in the footsteps of last year's act, Laura Thorne. Here they are in the running order that they will be performing in. And once I shared that, I will also be sharing my personal ranking as well as the community ranking. Let me just find it. So, here, the 8 acts competing are Steve Castile with the song Sweet Tooth, Luzak with Prison Dore, Darius with Melusina, Shirokuro with Eye to Eye, Andrew the Martian with I'm the Martian, Hugo One with Born Again, Eva Maria with Mother Nature, and Iwem with Bad Decisions, Hush Hush. But what's my ranking? Well, I've ranked the songs a couple of weeks ago, and this was my ranking. So I've had in 8th place Iwem with 3 points, Eva Maria was 7th with 4 points, Andrew the Martian 5th with 5 points, Darius in 6th, 8th, 7th, 6th, 5th rather, 8th for Iwem, 7th Eva Maria, 6th Andrew the Martian, 5th was Darius for 6 points, then 4th Steve Castile, 3rd Hugo One, that's 7 and 8 points. My 10 points went to Shirokuro, and my 12 points, my top pick for Luxembourg, is Luzak. But what about the community rankings? Well, according to them, it appears to be a contest between Darius and Luzak. But out of respect for the others, I'm going to go from bottom to top. Andrew the Martian's 8th with 14,322 points. Hugo One 7th with 14,625 points. Then 14,926 points. Steve Castile in 6th. Shirokuro 17,797 points in 5th. Eva Maria 21,577 in 4th. And then the top 3. Iwem 3rd with 23,974 points. Luzak is 2nd with 26,210 points. And Darius tops the ranking with 26,784 points. So it looks rather close between at the bottom, and it seems to be close between Darius and Luzak. So who knows which way this could go. What we do know is that the show will be broadcast on RTL at 8 o'clock Central European Time, and you'll also be able to watch it on the Eurovision Song Contest YouTube channel as well. I'm sorry to say that we are out of time for this episode of the Euro Den. Hopefully you found it useful to see where the show starts. Like what you heard, leave a rating and review wherever you are listening. And if you want some more content, like post about confirmed artists, head to the Euroden Instagram page at Euroden_pod. We'll be breaking down all the results in the next episode. Until then, as they say in the Netherlands, tot ziens. Enjoy tonight's shows, and I'll speak to you again soon. Later, skaters.